Second quarter underway. The Swans by 14 points. Hall, Zilla, who had a lot of the ball in the first quarter, comes to Maxfield. He scrambles it forward inside attacking 50. Where will it bounce? Rogers kicks it wide towards the line. Zantuck, I think, will be happy to see it over.
Looks like Matty Rogers has been told to go with Paul Kelly. Wherever Kelly is, Rogers will be with him. We see Kelly there starting in the forward line for the Swans. Rogers will have constant touch on him. If Kelly goes into the midfield, Rogers will follow.
Well, it's Hall versus Hall. Ray gets it down. Kelly tries to crash his way through. Can't. Rogers now, a chance. Matthews, he's wrapped up by a couple of Tigers. And another bounce between wing and half forward for the Swans. Early stages of this second quarter.
Otten's at full forward, and he's got Cracker in one pocket and Clinton King in the other. So the idea would be get it long into Otten's. If he doesn't mark it, well, those little fellas just have to be underneath. Edney's also there, so three smalls under Otten's.
Mott comfortably to Creswell, who had a fresh airy. Out of the pack was Campbell. Bit of holding going on there. 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. Umpire let it go. Williams. He's got a free kick for being legged. Paul Williams. He's got Schwass on. And he sizzles one.
Just saw O'Loughlin pushed off Tawney as Schwass took the mark. O'Loughlin pushed off his opponent, then back into space.
He looks for Hall. He got pushed out. And we have a throw in. So it's the Swans by 14 points. Just a couple of minutes into this second term here at Colonial Stadium.
Barry Hall yet to have a kick doing the ruck work for Sydney.
Hall gets it down. Schwabel going nowhere. Umpire Dorr calls for the football. Interesting move playing Schwabel at centre half forward. He played very well last week against Melbourne.
Yes.
Kicked 3 goals.
He's just an honest goer. Goes hard at the football. He hasn't got too many tricks, but he'll give an honest contest. You know that.
Barry Hall can't get it clear. Not diving on the football. Well played by Campbell. And another ball up.
#1 tackling team in the AFL, Sydney. And they have been a very good tackling side for years and years. And part of that stems, I'm sure, from the fact that they get the rugby league boys to teach them how to tackle.
Ray Hall this time, all the umpires down. Comes out to Barry Hall. Can he snap from 30 metres around the body? Oh, great effort in front by Gaspar. I thought for a moment Doyle was going to reach over the top again, but Gaspar relieves the pressure. And there's Tawney at right half back. The Tigers need to set something up here.
Tawney goes long. Gee, it's Edney against Mott. What a mismatch that was. Edney did well to spoil Williams. Saddington. Now O'Loughlin. Goes long. Doyle attacks the footy. Won it. Has a snap. Has Doyle got his third? Just miss. Great play by the big fella. Well, he's got 2 goals, 1.
It was terrific effort by Doyle. Look, he's 200 centimetres plus, contested the ball in the air and was the first to get it at ground level.
So it's 4-4 Sydney. Richmond at 2-1. Almost 4 minutes ticked over in this second quarter.
Andy Kellaway taking plenty of time. Cameron deep in the back pocket. Cameron decides to kick wide, and he only just lands it inside the line. So not a lot of system. Richmond coming out of their defensive zone. Well, Rob, they did go to the right on that occasion.
Yes, and I think because it was a right footer who kicked in, it was Andy Kellaway, blood rule, and it looks like Ray Hall has to leave the field. Because if Andy Kellaway goes to the right and he plays on, well, he's able to kick more naturally on his right foot, and vice versa for the left footers when they go to the left side of the ground.
And you've got your wish, Rob. Brad Otten's in the ruck with Ray Hall coming from the ground under the blood rule.
Yeah, a bit of blood there, isn't he? He must have got one to the top of the head. Houlihan coming on for Richmond. He's going into the forward line.
And here's one player who is a goal kicker. Adam Houlihan. Well, as we said, Otten's now in the ruck against Mott. He wins it down, shark by McPherson. He's well tackled, though. Richmond try and get it forward, but free kick. Or now a bit of byplay. Maxfield went down. Nothing in that. You see Wayne Campbell being pushed right in the middle of the back. Kicks inside the centre square. Zilla has been prominent. There's a loose player across the ground. It's Andy Callaway. Needs to get on with it quickly. Uses Rogers, who kicks out wide. Zantuck. Loose player at centre-half forward. Cameron likes to kick it long. Drills it into the pocket. Andrew Cracker amongst the couple. Pettifer a chance. Left foot snap is clever. Well, he's got a bit of class, Kane Pettifer, and saw that a lot off the boot of Peter Dacos, but he did it very cleverly, and the Tigers needed that one.
They sure did, Michael. He knew what he was doing. He put the ball on the side of the boot. He bananaed it. He got the bounce. Certainly a Peter Dacos special, and a badly needed goal for the Tigers. That'll give them a lot of confidence.
Richmond's second goal came at the 6-minute mark of the first quarter. Their third goal at the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. So it was a long time coming, but they're back in the contest, the Tigers. They trail by 9 points as we have a throw in 50 metres out from the Swans' goal. Rogers and Campbell have 10 possessions each so far for the Tigers. Zilla's got 9. Well, for the Swans, it's 8 to Maxfield. Ball kick to the goal square, and there he is again. He is killing the Tigers.
And it was McPherson who got a wobbly punt to the goal square, and it was a big old wobbly torpedo, and this young man just stood firm, and you'll see the ball spills out. McPherson, 100-gamer, it just goes bang, wobbly old kick to the goal square. And you've got to give a lot of credit to Barry Hall for shepherding there to enable Doyle to take the mark and go back, kick the goal.
So Stephen Doyle has got his third, and really they haven't got anyone to match up on him.
We'll just have a look at this. See if we can pick up Barry Hall doing the shepherding. You'll see Doyle take the mark. And Big Barry's body was able to keep that Richmond defender from getting a fist on it. Vardy's been taken from the field, Doyle's opponent.
Matthew Knight's on the ground for the first time tonight. Can he make a difference? Otten's up. Greswell wrapped up and a bounce.
And Stephen Doyle, the goal kicker, he's got a new opponent. It's Ray Hall, who's had the head bandaged. Hall has gone into the back line. He can play there, Hall. It's a better option, I think, than Royce Vardy. Vardy's been benched.
Well, they've got a lack of height in there, forward 50, the Tigers. Can they make do? Otten's threw it out, and he's been penalised. Ricky Mott. Played with South Fremantle. Handball comes from Maxfield to Schwass. Kicks inside towards Kelly on attacking 50. Chaffee. Now a chance for Rogers, who really doesn't have anyone to kick to. Look for the boundary line. Schwass was there. He pumps it back in. Poor kick.
Richmond have flooded numbers back, Michael. I think Danny Frawley has said we cannot afford to get a couple more goals kicked against us, so let's get the numbers back.
They work it out of their defensive zone. Zantuck, Houlihan, Callaway, back to Houlihan. They've got no one to kick to now. Knights runs hard. He's outnumbered, gets a good bounce. Now Otten's in support. Loose player is Hall, and got it.
And that's great running from Ray Hall. He's been on a player who's kicked 3 goals, and Ray Hall has taken the initiative. He bolted once Richmond won possession at half-back. He just took off. He's run 100 metres downfield to be a player who could receive. Richmond flooded the numbers back in defence, and good on him. That shows a lot of initiative.
They had no one else to kick to, and Hall stood up and made himself a target. Will kick from 35 metres. Comes in off the long run and drives it home. So Richmond have their fourth and the margin back to 9 points.
Well, they're back in the game, and Matthew Knight's first time he's touched the ball, and it's an effective handball over to Ottens. Ottens is a lovely kick. He's able to spot Hall, who's run from behind, and Big Ray Hall goes back with the long run up and kicks straight through the footy. Ray Hall with a bandage on. He's from New South Wales, from Woy Woy.
Spike Milligan territory. That was no joke, that goal, though. They did it badly, the Tigers. Back to 9 points the margin. Schauble to Williams. Looking for Hall, but it's out on the full. And gee, he might have hurt himself and ran into the fence there, Barry Hall. Gives it back reluctantly to Darren Gasper. 11 minutes gone in this second term. Hall against Goods in this marking contest over both their heads. Dunkley couldn't control it. The back of the pack, well on by Hall to Chaffee. And it'll be thrown back in.
Rodney Eade has made a move. It's a little bit surprising. He's taken Mott from the field. That means that the big fella who kicked the goals, Doyle, is in the ruck.
Hall got hands on it. Maxfield got the clearing kick to McPherson in his 100th. Another New South Wales boy, Daniel McPherson. Schwass provides the run. He can dot this. No, he's gone off the side of the boot, actually sliced it badly. And it's a free kick in the back pocket to the Tigers. He loaded up, Wayne Schwass.
He tried to kick it 80 metres. That I think was his problem. Just tried to kick it too hard. Schwass and this fella in picture, Clinton King, they've been playing on each other since the first bounce.
King kicks to the wing. Ottens, well, he's a great player, no question about that. Going to be a star for the Tigers. Long towards half-forward. Hall in front. Oh, he got hands, not paid at ground level. Cracker. High kick to the pocket. Fiora tried valiantly, but the boundary line was too close.
Adam Fiora has been moved to full forward, coming off the interchange bench.
Goods. High kick, big pack of players. Boundary line close and over.
I just think Ray Hall will be happier to ruck against Doyle. Doyle won't have the bulk that Mott has. Though he'll have, and of course, Ottens.
Hall out of the ruck. Oh, he needs to get rid of it quickly, does. Kelly scrambles it forward. Callaway from the side. Matthew Rogers, chief possession winner on the ground with 11. Make that 12 as he accepts in the centre of the ground. Kick towards half forward was ill-directed. And Goods, in the end, takes a pretty comfortable mark. Barry Hall breaks for him.
Had to come a long way from goal, Barry Hall, to get some kicks virtually on the half-back flank for Sydney there. Numbers
across the Sydney half-forward line with the Tigers, so he's forced to kick across the ground to Fosdyke. They're outnumbered at half-forward, the Swans. Kick, probing one towards Saddington. At ground level, it's all Richmond. Rogers gets it back, and he finds King on the half volley. Knights comes in to lend a hand. He's tied up, and we'll get a bounce.
So 14 minutes have ticked over in this second term.
Otten's doing the ruck work. Ray Hall's gone to full forward for Richmond. Dunkley, his opponent.
Bounce down on the sponsor's logo. Oh, clever tap by Ottens to King. And Bowden. Well, the ball sort of fell in his hands in the end, but he'll take it. 70 out from goal. Looking for Houlihan. He's got to push, says the umpire. Against Bennett. So Houlihan, who came on at quarter time. Pretty soft, that one.
Yeah, pretty soft. Good kick by Bowden, though. He put it out in front of Houlihan, who was able to run onto it. And the Tigers have to be a little bit careful when they go forward. The first quarter, the plan was to kick it long to Ottens. Ottens is no longer there. He's doing the ruck work. So with players of the size of Fiora and Houlihan in picture, no good kicking it on top of their head. They've got to put it out in front so they can run onto it.
Did it left to right of this one from Houlihan. Oh, almost. Great kick. They'll have to settle for a poster. Richmond 4-2, Sydney 5-4. Almost 16 minutes now gone in this second quarter.
Schwartz at fullback for the Swans. Kick short, very short. Play onto the court. Creswell now under pressure. Hoist it high to Saddington. Knights, not quite. Now a chance for Kelly. Had no option, but really gained some meterage and find the boundary line. It's been an enthralling duel with Matthew Rogers, and Rogers, you have to say, winning the battle at the moment.
He's getting a bit of the ball, isn't he? Oh, he's a tough, hard player, Matty Rogers. You just love the way that he goes about it.
Between wing and half forward for the Tigers. Williams almost controlled it. McPherson now a chance. Handball in the... Now it comes Saddington. His soccer was ineffective. Oh, clever little touch from Bowden to Knights. Two runners outside. One of them's Tivendale. He runs to 60. He can go all the way. He kicks long to a vacant goal square and getting back. Crouch.
Hurt his ankle there.
Right on the goal line. Jared Crouch.
He slipped on that concrete and saves a certain goal, Jared Crouch. The little fella. Whew. And here he's okay, then he just slips.
He seems to be okay as he goes to the 50. Good mark in front by Houlihan against Dunkley.
Gee, they just need a goal, the Tigers. Get a goal and they're well and truly in it. Now, Knights has been on the ground, had a couple of touches. Bowden across half forward's been classy.
So Houlihan goes long. Ottens wrestling with two. Doyle happy to concede the behind for Sydney.
You just wonder, Michael, why Rodney Eade would have taken Mott from the field and moved Doyle into the ruck, particularly when Doyle had kicked 3 goals in about a 15-minute period.
Well, it really stretched the Swans. Really stretched the Tigers, I should say. Now Maxfield. Kick out wide. Dunkley from the side. Got great hands, Andrew Dunkley.
He's a good old-fashioned footballer.
Kick. Barely the 15 meters. Doesn't matter. Maxfield's run on. Receives from Bennett. Thumps it long towards centre half forward. Schwabel in front. Almost. Saddington. Now a chance for Barry Hall. Concedes some ground to McPherson. Chip kick. Couple of loose players in the pocket. Schwabel's one of them. And Andrew Schwabel has a chance. He's caught. Play on. Runs in and kicks a goal. Well, the goal umpire had to do a fair bit of work, and I thought for a moment that he may have kicked it across the face, but a goal to the Swans. And, Rob, importantly for the Swans, it was one against the flow of play.
Yes, it was. It had been all Richmond for the last 10 minutes. They've gone to sleep on the mark there, Zantuck, and he's just sneaked away Andrew Schwabel. But he was set up by McPherson, who did a lovely little chip kick from about 55 metres out, travelled about 25 metres to set Schwabel up.
This is a bit slack, Robert Walls.
Yeah, that was disappointing, and Danny Frawley would be most unhappy about that.
So back in the middle, here comes Sydney again. Kelly over the top to Fosdyke. Fosdyke goes long. Doyle's there, so is Schwabel in front. Had it fisted away, still got it. Did well to get it to Barry Hall. Another one for Sydney.
That's a free kick to Richmond. The umpire's called a throw. And it will go back to the Tigers. He says that Schwabel threw that ball out. We'll check it out on replay a little bit later, but it looked a certain goal to the Swans, not to be.
So a lucky let-off for the Tigers as they have possession now. Gasper looking for Ottens. That's Knights as he claimed the mark. Anyway, it doesn't matter because he gets it to Cameron. Cameron now goes deep inside 50. It's a good kick too. Finds his skipper. And Campbell grimaced as he pulled up there. Hope he hasn't hurt the hamstring.
Was a good kick, and exactly what we were saying. when they've got the medium-sized players in the forward 50, Houlihan, Campbell, Fiora, they cannot put the ball on top of them. They have to put it out in space so they can run onto it. Leon Cameron knows that. Beautiful kick. Wayne Campbell needs to finish now with a goal.
Averaging 23 disposals a game this season. Richmond's leading possession getter. And he makes no mistake. .5 minutes gone, second quarter. Back to 7 points of difference. Sydney lead.
Well, what a turnaround, Rob, because it was almost a goal to the Swans.
2-goal turnaround.
Unbelievable.
It was a free kick paid there back in defence there for the Tigers when Barry Hall kicked what we thought was a certain goal. Matty Knight's got that handball across. Well done. He's made an impact since he's come on by setting up play with creative handballs, and a great pass by Cameron to Campbell. Ricky Mott back in the ruck, and Doyle to full forward. That's a better system, better setup.
Oddens up high, second chance. Slung to the ground.
And you just wonder why Rodney Eade made that change. You know, maybe the plan was to just share the ruck work throughout the quarter. But if a player's running hot, as Doyle was, you tend to say, well, let's keep going because it's working.
There's one player who is struggling a bit over the last 15 minutes or so. Mott gets it forward. Now a chance for O'Loughlin. Well, burst clear. Inside, Fosdyke didn't look, just popped her onto the boot. Chance for Barry Hall. Can he slip Gasper? He can. Handball, Schwabel, who's done some good things. Sweeping handball towards Kelly. Put him under enormous pressure. Hall and Bowden go hard at it. And a bounce.
Just go back, and this is where Schwabel, absolutely no doubt he threw the ball to Barry Hall. Good decision by the umpire.
Swans 40 metres from their goal. Schwabel thumps it forward. Zilla gets back, and we'll get a free kick. Back in the side tonight, Stephen Zilla. He's had 10 possessions. Bowden sweeps it. Gasper done a good job on Barry Hall. We've got plenty of time at half-back. Gasper needs to make the kick count. Towards Hall. Fist from Doyle. Edney couldn't quite get boot to ball. Now a chance for the Swans. Bennett fighting hard at ground level. Well, Hall emerges from the pack with the football. Scrambles it forward. Contest required. Tivendale did well. Outnumbered. He gets it to the line.
Wayne Campbell, in effect, the full forward, and he's telling his teammates, get out, give me space. He's on Jarrett Crouch. Campbell would fancy that he'd be able to outmark and outbody Crouch. He's a bit bigger than him, and he's telling his Richmond teammates, keep out of the 50, just leave it to me.
Oddens tries to get it down. Tawney, not 15. O'Loughlin gathered the awkward ball. Cleverly kick was poor, and Zilla has it. Loose player inside, dangerous kick, chopped off by the Kelly, the dynamic Paul Kelly. Loose players everywhere. One of them's Williams. Maxwell's outside, he ignores that. Hall leads.
He could make the distance from there.
He goes short and gets his man, Kirk. And he cops some treatment.
What about the interception by Paul Kelly, though? It was the Zilla kick. And you just see there the interception by Paul Kelly. It was all the way going to Houlihan. Kelly intercepted. Not only did he do that, he butted up and he was able to get that short pass to Williams, who in turn was able to get the short pass across to his teammate. And it will be Brett Kirk lining up from about 45 metres out, dead set in front.
Zilla off, by the way.
Yeah, you play the penalty, don't you?
Kirk comes in and kicks a goal. So the Swans answering every challenge that Richmond can throw at them at the moment. And the margin back out to 13 points as we draw closer to half-time.
Yes, and again, Paul Kelly just magnificent there with his reflexes and reach. And then to finish it off with a lovely little chip pass across to Williams. Williams was probably just outside his kicking range. He knew that. He was happy to unload it off.
25-minute mark of the second term. Sydney lead Richmond by 13 points. Mott won it against Ottens. Chaffee to Zantuck. Out in front of Bowden at half forward. Saddington's his opponent. And Sydney went out. Maxfield. Fosdyke, the old 1-2. As Maxfield has two bounces. Looks for Williams. He gets past one Richmond opponent. He has a shot. It's close. Doyle's there. It's another mark. Doyle will line up for goal number 4.
You know, when you're on a good thing, you stick to it, don't you? And Rodney Eade realised probably after 8 or 9 minutes when he took Mott off, I better get Mott back on in the ruck, because that means I can have this fella up in the goal square. And he's been terrific. And Stephen, you said he never kicked a goal in AFL. He's already kicked 3, lining up for his 4th in this first half.
Beautiful shot of this one. He kicks the banana. And it's out on the full.
Oh, he needs a little bit of practice on that one. But here, he's just got the height, and there he wrestles with Ray Hall, releases the wrestle, 2 grabs at the cherry and brings it down.
He's been a revelation, Stephen Doyle, tonight. Swans need a second option with the absence of Tony Lockett, and he certainly provided that tonight. Andrew Kellaway intent on playing on handball to Gaspar. And Fiora loose, gets to him just. Uses Zantuck. Gets around Maxfield pretty easily, and kick is okay. Gets to Bowden. Tigers taking plenty of time to work it forward. Vardy now playing in attack. Oh, short kick. Well, Fiora marks. Swash wasn't looking, had his back to the game.
He's got Ottens, and Ottens' opponent is Ricky Mott. Oh, poor kick.
Kicks into Dunkley. Well played by Fixter. Dunkley, good little touch to accommodate Goods. He has no one to kick to. He wants the boundary line, Adam Goods, and Zantuck does brilliantly to keep it in. Bowden, underground to Gaspar. What can the Tigers set up here? We're close to half-time. Rogers across the ground. Tawney, loose player in the centre square. Kellaway. Need to get on with it quickly, the Tigers.
They've got Ottens up forward. They've just got to get a ball to Ottens on Mott. That's the one they're after. Here they go.
Towards Ottens. Can't take the mark. Schwass at the back. Shoots it to Kirk. And he kicks towards Hall. Barry Hall. Gaspar. Brilliant spoil. Followed it up. Wobbles at the half forward. Well played, Dunkley. Williams took Pettifer on and beat him, and finds Kirk at left half back.
Sydney haven't got a player in their forward 50.
Gee, that was a great trap by Dunkley, wasn't it?
Yeah, he just smothered the bounce. That's why Kirk's waiting, just for the Sydney players to get themselves in position, because there was no one at all in their forward 50.
Kirk looking for Hall, but chipping in front of him is Bowden. Sideways to Cameron. And he's got a player on the wing, loose, and it's Zantuck. Ty Zantuck can carry the ball 30 or 40 metres that he wants. He decides instead to go long. It's a good kick to Ottens, but he's being double-teamed at the moment. We've got to throw in.
Dunkley coming to Mott's assistance there. For about 2 or 3 minutes, the big fella in picture, he was up against Ricky Mott. It was a real advantage because, you know, Mott's a ruckman, not a defender, not a full-back as such. And the Tigers were desperately trying to get a ball to Ottens.
Time for Richmond to get a goal here. Cameron on the boundary line, swings it around. Again, it's Sydney 2-on-1, and safety first as they concede the behind. So Sydney 7-4-46, Richmond 5-4-34. 2 goals the difference as we near half-time.
3 goals each in this second quarter. It's been a good contest.
Close to half-time. Stuart Maxfield will have enough time to bring it in, you would think. Drives it long. Mott the target. Big pack. He gets it at ground level. It's all Richmond at the full. Houlihan, can he spot someone up? He can, but it's all too late. Half-time here at Colonial Stadium, and it's been a very entertaining game of football. And at half-time, it's the Swans leading 7-4 to 5-4. 12-point advantage to the Swans at the long break.
And full credit to Richmond. I thought they've really worked hard in that quarter. They won the quarter only by a couple of points, but they still won it, and that's significant. And I just thought that Knight's coming on helped lift them. Otten's going into the ruck was effective. Bowden's been lively across half forward, and Tivendale, Fiora starting to come into the play.
So half-time here at Colonial Stadium. It's been a very entertaining game of football. Only 2 goals in it at half-time. Swans with the noses in front.